guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. Welcome to another episode of the Cinematic Bucket List series. Get ready to break the first two rules because today we're talking about Fight Club, released in 1999, directed by David Fincher. This movie stars Edward Norton playing a character who, for the sake of convenience, I'm going to refer to as Jack, who is just kind of living your standard run-of-the-mill average life. He's got a very cushy job, he lives in a fancy apartment, and he feeds the empty soullessness in his heart by, buying expensive appliances and going to support groups for issues that he doesn't have just to feel something. But then everything changes when he comes across a guy named Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt, who is pretty much the exact opposite of everything that Jack is. They form an unlikely friendship and through a series of circumstances end up forming an underground fight club that attracts a whole bunch of other repressed young men who just want to let their anger and aggressions out. But then even that starts to get out of hand when their, underground club consisting of, everyone beating the shit out of each other in the basement morphs into, a terrorist organization with Tyler as pretty much the head leader. So Jack has to come to terms with what he's created and stop Tyler before it's too late. I am honestly really glad, not only that I finally saw this movie and got to check it off the bucket list because it was really, really good, but I'm also glad that this movie came out when it did in the late 90s and not now in 2023 in modern day, because if this movie, the way that it was presented, came out now, the discussion surrounding it would be fucking unbearable. Like, we've seen this with other movies where, anything, really provocative or, trying to, send a message and stuff like that, it becomes the topic of, thousands of YouTube video essays, and, it just gets annoying because you have on the one side the, idiots who are like, oh, Tyler Durden was right all along, and they're, not realizing that he is meant to, be the bad guy, and they're actually, taking sort of his ideas and his, philosophies to heart. And then there's the other side that would take one look at the whole, all the themes of, anti-establishment and, violence and, rebellion and everything, and find some excuse to get this movie canceled. On top of, connecting a lot to what a lot of people are probably feeling now, it definitely, the message is held up for the time. A lot of people, Tyler mentions it himself in the movie, is that, there was a generation who was quote-unquote raised by their moms, I believe is what he said. And it's very, they're in this sort of world that is it's teaching them to be very passive and repressive and just kind of consume product and everything like that. And seeing sort of how, this group of like-minded individuals who started off, just punching lumps out of each other in the basement, go on to, kind of rise up, and even seeing Jack sort of start to grow a bit of a backbone and talking back to his boss. And I'm sure a lot of people can, get some solace in seeing just a group of people rise up against the establishment and everything like that. I think the performances in this movie were really good. I think Edward Norton is a very talented actor, and he does a really good job playing sort of the everyman who is just kind of jaded and lost in life. And his sort of timid following sort of the status quo attitude towards things is a great contrast to Tyler, who just flat out does not give a fuck about anything. I really like the look of the film. I think it falls perfectly into, that sort of category of movies that came out in the late 90s where it is very grungy and gritty and kind of dirty. I thought the cinematography was great. I thought it was very well edited. I thought the story was very engaging. I had heard from people who were telling me to watch this movie that, the Fight Club is only a small part of it, and they were not kidding. They don't even prompt the Fight Club until maybe like halfway through the movie. But I honestly wasn't finding myself like bored or like wondering when it was gonna pick up. Like, it was very engaging. The twist, I'm not gonna say it was surprising what the twist was, and for those who haven't seen it, I won't give it away, but like, the reveal itself wasn't shocking to me, but like, the seeds that they planted and the way that it was executed, like, the impact of the reveal was still there. So I feel like it was still plenty effective. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the movie. I thought it was really good. It was very enjoyable. It does not surprise me that it wasn't a big hit at the box office, and it was pretty polarizing with critics and audiences. I mean, I imagine any movie that like has these sort of themes or like underlying like messages like is something that would be pretty polarizing. But, you know, I am glad that I checked it out. I'm glad that I watched it. I thought that it did what it needed to do very effectively. And yeah, for those who haven't seen it, check it out. And if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 4.5 out of 5. But anyway, that does it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of Fight Club. If you've seen it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Or are you just kind of in between? And what are some other David Leitch movies that I should check out for the bucket list? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social medias, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you